Hiya, I'm Simone Radley from Ink London Nails, and in this video I'm going to show you how I did this check design for one of the ink adverts. So I've started off on my tip with a base of the new colour Celery. So I've done 2 coats of that colour, and then we're going to come in and do our check pattern. So I'm going to decant some of my other colours. So this one is, right, it might be amber. Is it amber?
I don't know.
Joanna doesn't know.
What's the name of it?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Saffron.
Saffron. It's Saffron. This one is Tawny. And Burnt Henna. When I just asked Joanna what that colour was, she looks like a deer caught in headlights.
Because I was concentrating on something else.
She was like, oh. I don't know. Sorry, put you on the spot there, didn't I? So we have got our colours decanted that we're going to use for our check pattern, but I want to kind of water them down a little bit because I don't want, they're so pigmented, these colours, which is fantastic, but for this design I just want them a little bit less so. So I'm going to mix in some Rock Plus top coat. You don't need loads. And then I'm just going to mix it in with my dotting tool. These nails, although they're great for autumn and they've got the really nice sort of checked autumn print, they're also really bright and fun. So then I'm going to use my 15mm liner brush to start putting on my colours. So I'm going to use Saffron first. Saffron, it reminds me of Ab. You know, Saffy. Was her name Saffron? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. I love that programme, Ab. So I'm going to start up at the top, just pull your lines down, and I'm going to go drag through it again. Then I'm going to go right next to it and do another line, and then through the middle, because I want it fairly thick. It's no good for this just having like a really thin little line, because it won't really make much of an impact on your check pattern. Then I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. So I'm picking up quite a lot of colour on the brush, like I say, because I want my line quite thick. Normally when I'm doing lines and using a liner brush, I want them the opposite, quite thin, so I don't pick up loads of paint. But for this we need a bit more. And then I'm not going to cure it, I'm just going to go straight over and do one the opposite way towards the bottom. And again I'm going to thicken it out a bit as well. And then I'm going to do another one a bit further up, so you can start to see the base of our check design starting to emerge. Pop it into Flash Cure It for a few seconds. Now I'm going to come in with my next colour, which is Tawny. And I'm going to do a line going downwards, which is, don't tell me, vertical.
I have to think about that. If I think, I have to think of horizon and think the sea, the horizon, and I could draw a line across. But then there's also me that when I do bed, I have to put my thumbs up.
Bed?
Yeah, so to figure out would you burn dirt.
Oh my
I
god.
taught at primary school and occasionally I still have to do it now.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, Joanna has just made me feel loads better there, hasn't she?
And left and right, I had to shape, to figure out what my left and right is, I had to shape my right hand with that right with because I know that's my right hand.
I no longer feel stupid for pausing over horizontal and vertical.
No.
And then I'm going to come on to the other side as well and do a line going down the way, just inside of the first one that you did. Then I'm going to do one just above the line that we did at the bottom. And then I'm going to do one underneath the line that we did at the top. It's looking good. Again, if it's pulling at the sides, just pull it up into the middle and then pop it into cure. So take it out and then we're going to come in with our last colour, obviously, which is burnt henna. That's why I said colour, because I was thinking henna. Burnt henna. So again, I'm going to come down the inside of the previous colours. I'm not adding loads and loads and loads of this colour because it is so pigmented. For me, I think I'm going to add a bit more top coat into that red colour. So don't be afraid if it's not quite how you want it to go back and change it. It's perfectly fine. So this will be a little bit more watered down now. And I'm going to come back over these ones that I've done. And you can see the difference already. It's just kind of blown it out a little bit. I'm happy with that, how that's looking. So I'm going to put that into cure for 60 seconds. So on this design, I really want the base matte, and then I'm going to do some extra lines on top. So to matte this, I'm going to use my Rock Plus first, because I don't want to come straight in with my matte top coat and for all my lines to go blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they do, they go blah, 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 all over the place. We need to have like some sort of motto for that.
If you want it matte, make it shine first.
Yeah, I feel like that's not a very good motto though. Although wasn't really what I was looking for there.
No.
But pop that into cure. We need a different motto for it. And I like, once you go matte, you'll never go back. Now we've got that at the lamp. Now, that camera is focusing on that. Now we can go in with our velvet matte top coat. I love this stuff, it's so good. Thank God for velvet matte is all I can say. I'm going to pop that into cure. So now you've made it all lovely and matte, we're going to add on some shiny lines on top. So for this, I'm going to use one of the gel paints that, by the time you see this video, may or may not be out yet, because I'm not entirely sure on the release date. And we're going to use my favourite thing ever, one of the staples everybody should have, the white no wipe gel paint, because I use it all the time And the amount you use, they last you forever, but as you can see, I'm probably going to need a new one soon because I do use it a lot because I love it. So I'm going to just put a little bit out on my palette. You don't need a lot. I'm going to wipe my brush and get some of the lovely red one as well. We're going to just do some extra lines, so some thin lines to define your design, and it just makes the pattern so much better. So I'm going to come right down the outside of the very first line that I did. So unlike the first lines we did in this design, you want these ones to be thin. You don't want big chunky ones. So you've got a couple of lines on there. Now we're going to go in the opposite direction. So now we've done lines down the side, one at the top. We're going to do one at the bottom. I'm just going to start by putting a little bit in the centre, just so I can make sure that it's straight, because when I turn things round and start painting to go across, they end up wonky usually. They end up a bit like that or a bit like that. So if you paint a little line in the centre first, you know where you're going. So I'm just going to pop that in for a quick cure. So I have flash cured that, so our red lines are in place, and now we're going to come in with our white, just to add some highlights basically. And again, when you get the white on, it really pops and you do see a big difference. So I'm going to go down the middle of this side. So with these lines, there is no right or wrong. If you're following this design, don't think you have to put your lines where I put mine, because you don't. So I've put my white lines on. I'm going to pop that into cure, and I'm going to cure it for, because it's got gel paint on there, I'm going to cure it for 120 seconds to make sure that it is properly cured. So now it's cured, it's out of the lamp, and that is it, done. So because we use no white gel paint, we don't need to put any top coat over. And that is the finished design. I think it looks really good. It's really nice to have that matte underneath and those shiny lines on top. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!